We're both running halfway.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We may have some other people come in, but we want to value your time too. Please feel free to keep filling out forms if you'd like. My name is Diane Flannery. I'm the principal here at the elementary. This is my third year as principal, and before that I taught for a number of years, I think 16 in the building, 10 years before that somewhere else, so I'm pretty much a veteran to education. So welcome today. Our purpose of our meeting today is to enable you to have some learnings about preschool firsthand from our preschool faculty. Answer any questions that you may have that's not already in your folder that Michelle has put together. And also so you can start meeting some other preschool parents. And we already have some preschool friends bonding over here, so it's all good. So we welcome you and glad you're able to be here. There are some people obviously not able to be here today, so we are videotaping for them. So we'll push this out to preschool parents, and if you want to, you can watch the whole thing again if you'd like. But it will be available as a resource. I want to start off by talking a little bit about some unknowns for next year. And as you filled out your registration form, you've already encountered some of those. Some of the things that we're not sure about at this time is whether we're going to have a full day 4 option available. It depends on the numbers of 4s that we have. It also depends on our staff and their availability to serve students. If you're not aware, there has to be a certain ratio for preschoolers. So we have to consider all of that as we figure out what the preschool program is going to look like next year. But as the 4s sheet says, the 4s registration says, if we would have a full day 4, to be able to attend full day 4, there would be a $90 charge for the month. The half day is free through the statewide voluntary preschool. So that's covered. But if you would have your 4, if we offered it, have your 4 stay, that would be another $90 for that additional half day for the month. Some other unknowns for next year is about our 3s also. We have to make sure that we serve our 4s first. So if we have a number of 4s, then that cuts down on the number of 3s positions we have available. And I can feel the level of concern rising for the 3s. We're going to try to accommodate everybody, because the more kids we can get in, the better off we're going to be. So if that means adding staff, if we have that in the funding, we will do that to be able to serve all the kids. So just be rest assured that we want as many kids here as we can, and we're going to try to make that happen. The difficulty is we're not sure who the 3s and 4s are out there, because obviously it's the first exposure to the district. So if you know anybody else than Guthrie Center or in neighboring districts that would like to send their child here to preschool, the sooner we can get them enrolled, the sooner we can let you know about some of those unknowns that we have. Tonight we'll this afternoon will be a good step forward to knowing what's out there, so we can start making some more definite plans even after tonight. Another thing for the 3s is the busing. We will try to provide busing for 3s if you want your 3 to ride a bus. But one thing that we have to consider is to make sure that any 4s that we're picking up for the afternoon are able to be here by 12:30. So logistically it would have to work too. And then, bless you, 3s tuition is $70 per month. And Michelle will tell, or someone will tell you more about when that's due and things later. So again, we're going to let you know as soon as we know the answers to some of those questions. And again, if you know anybody else out there that might have a 3 or a 4 that's considering coming to preschool, please let them know to contact the office as soon as possible. If you get all the paperwork done today, we should not need to see you again at registration on the 2nd. The school district is having registration August 2nd. So if you have all your paperwork done, you will not need to come back that day to register. Your registration is providing this information that you're working on right now. So with that, I think I'm finished for now, but I'll let everybody else introduce themselves and then continue on with whoever's next on the agenda. So if you want to introduce yourselves and go on from there.
Jessica, you first.
We gotta get behind this, can't.
Well, or I can, I'll do this. It's all right. Join me.
All right, well, I'm Jessica Nail. I go by Mrs. Nail. This is my 4th year teaching in Guthrie Center. I kind of a split day this year. I do transitional kindergarten in the morning, and then I've been 4-year-old preschool in the afternoon. So, I guess I live in Panora. I don't know what else to know about me. Graduate from UNI. Yay. Yay. So yeah.
I'm Patty Halber. I go by Miss Patty. I'm going on my 10th year teaching in Guthrie Center. I do the early childhood special ed. I do the 3-year-old program, and I do the 4-year-old program. I've raised my family in Guthrie Center. They are all grown now, and yeah, I'm a transplant, but I really enjoy living here.
My name's Kelsey Moran. This is my 4th year teaching and my 3rd year at Guthrie Center. I do 4-year-old preschool. We've been doing it in the morning, and then I do the district's K-12 English as a second language program, and then I also coach our speech and drama teams down at the high school. I grew up in Baird and graduated from Coon Rapids Baird, so this area is home. And I have a cat.
We know.
There you go.
Okay.
So,
Let's go ahead and introduce our other
I'm
three.
Paige Norbert. I'm the school nurse. I go by Nurse Paige. This is my 2nd full year here. I'm full-time in the district between pre-K through 12. I spend most of my time here at the elementary. Grew up here, graduated from here. I have a 3-year-old and a 10-month-old little baby girl.
I'm Cindy Durkoff. I'm with Partnerships for Families, and I have them all out beat. I've been serving Guthrie County for 15 years as of last week, so actually more than that. But do you want me to give my info?
If you'd like
now?
to, you sure can.
Okay. Partnerships for Families is the early childhood Iowa area for Carroll, Greene, Guthrie, and Audubon counties. And what we do in relation to the preschool is we offer a tuition assistance. So once the school district knows what's happening with 3s, you'll get information from me. Actually, there's a little bit of information you're filling out on your application that I'll take a peek at in June or July once they know what's going on. And you might receive a letter from me saying your family's eligible for tuition assistance. I'll need a little bit more information and just get that back to me as soon as possible. I work closely with the school office on making sure any family that's eligible for that receives it. If you're curious, if you've ever seen a income guideline sheet, we are able to offer tuition assistance to any family that has an income of 200% of the federal poverty level or below. So it's even a little bit higher than what your free and reduced lunch schedule is. So if you see something come from Cindy Durkoff, that would be myself, and that will be about tuition assistance. The other information I wanted to make sure you each went home with tonight was the information about early childhood services in Guthrie County. Your 3- and 4-year-olds are on the edge of this, but I see a lot of babes or to-be babes in the room, so make sure you have this information. And the other piece I gave you was information about the 1,000 books. We have just kicked off the 1,000 books before kindergarten with all of the libraries in Guthrie County. So you can go in there, get signed up. There's sheets that you can fill out with your kiddos to encourage them to be reading, because we know that that reading to your children and with them is the foundation for everything that's to come yet in this building and beyond. Remember, reading a book even 5 times counts for 5 books because repetition is important to the children. And I have one more plug. Partnerships for Families is a governmental entity for this county, and we do have citizens that serve from Guthrie County on our board. We are currently looking for up to 2 from Guthrie County, mainly a male, because we have this thing that's called gender balance we have to do, and I have 2 males going off the board, and I need 2 to come in. So if you know of anybody or would be interested, see me afterwards. I have some information about it. It's about 9 meetings a year on a Friday morning up in Carroll. We might move those a little bit, but please see me about that afterwards. But mainly remember tuition assistance. If you get anything regarding that, it'll be coming from me, and we'll work with the school to make sure the kiddos get that. And I'll be around if you have questions.
I'm Michelle Spock. I go by Miss Michelle. I'm in the office, so when you call in and I'm the one you get to talk to. I have been at the district for 3 full years and 1 quarter, and then my husband and 2 kids, a 16 and 11-year-old, have been here for just about 17 years now this summer. So, so if you have any questions, I'm the one you talk to in the office. I'll be still around here tonight if you have anything after we go through everything, you still have questions. Feel free to grab me.
All right, ladies.
So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our 4-year-old program. We will have 4-year-old preschool 4 days a week, 3 hours at a time to equal 12 hours per week. And we're changing the dates this coming school year to Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So instead of having Thursdays off, we will have Wednesdays off instead. So no preschool for 4-year-olds on Wednesdays. That allows us to be able to go to training without them having to get a gajillion subs for us. And it also just kind of lines up with other activities and other things that are in the area. Several other preschools in the area also will do no school on Wednesdays as well. So typically our day starts at 8:30, goes to 11:30 if you're in the morning program, and then if you're in the afternoon program, it goes from 12:30 to 3:30.
If you are in the 3-year-old program, we only, we get to play only 2 days a week. And it is either Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday. And they are just half days in the morning, and so they are from 8:30 until 11:30. And a lot of things that we work on with the 3-year-olds is their social emotional, because that is a big part of being 3 and learning how to share, and also how to break that bond from coming into a structured environment from leaving moms and dads, because that can be a little rough. And also for the 3-year-olds and as well as the 4-year-olds, we introduce a lot of things, but they are masters of none. We just like to introduce and play. I love the word play, because we do a lot of play-based teaching and learning. And I'm not sure I covered what I wanted to. Okay. Just want to make sure I have all my little ducks in a row. And you will hear us talk about developmentally appropriate. So, even if your child, knows their ABCs, their letters, that's great. We're still going to work with them, to keep pushing them, but we still have, other things that we want to also have them learn, as well as those basic steps, because those basic building blocks are what they really need to kind of keep building up to be successful as they continue on their way after they leave us.
Really quick about home visits. Everybody in the 3 and 4 program will have a home visit with one of us or two of us or however that may work. So we usually contact you beginning of August sometime. They do kind of get time consuming, so we like to kind of start them before the year starts. We like to have them done before the first day of school. That's kind of why you've been filling in that information with Miss Marie and Miss Patty. So we kind of have it all in one area and we can easily contact you come August. And the most important thing about a home visit is that we just want, it can be kind of a scary time for a young child to, again, be kind of pulled away from their norm and come into a school setting for the first time. So we just want to kind of meet them on their ground, their turf, and just kind of make it a friendly, get to know you kind of visit. Nothing, we're not going to come and drill you or them. There's, information that we'll kind of get, and we'll talk about our programs a little bit more once you know then what teacher you'll have. Another thing to point out is it's called a home visit, but it doesn't necessarily have to be at your home. If you live, way far away or you're just not comfortable with that, it can be like in a park in town or just somewhere kind of casual, fun, and yeah, so it's kind of to get them to be comfortable with us before they walk into the door that first day, and hopefully we can get rid of some of those fears and make it a little bit easier of a transition for them. So again, you'll be hearing from one of us the beginning of August to get those set up, and they're usually just about 15 to 20 minutes, nothing long, but next.
Well, the next thing on the list is busing, and as we mentioned before, we're planning on running buses as we did this year, but we're not making any guarantees for the 3s at this time, but I'm pretty safe to say that if it's in town, we can easily drop off for the 3s, but if we're out in the country for 3s, that could be a little bit more difficult. But again, we're going to try to work with everybody to make that happen. We just can't make any guarantees today. So the 3s, though, would go home at 11:30, and if riding the bus was what the transportation is going to be, then Miss Patty will have a process for getting them on the bus that she'll talk about in a little bit, and then this year it was Paul Downing taking the kids to their destination. And Paul's really good about making sure that he has adult contact before he drives the bus off. So he'll wait for a wave or to see that the child's inside the door before he goes. For the 4s, if they're in the morning and we're not having a full day, then they'll be leaving at 11:30. And if bus is the transportation for them at that time, there will be a bus for them to take them to their destination. And then for the afternoons, if they're coming in, the bus can also bring them to preschool. And then it would be assumed that they probably would ride home with older siblings in the afternoon. And then the mornings, if there are 4 in the morning, they can come to school with their brother and sister if they have any. And then they'll leave at midday on the bus if that's the plan.
Any 3-year-olds can't ride bus at school at all. 3-year-olds.
Have we had that in the past?
We have. This year we did.
You'd have to be really comfortable with that. They'd have to have an older sibling that would take care of them, not just jump them on the bus and, but if they have an older sibling that will take care of them on the bus, we would be comfortable with that if the parents are. Yep. Do you want to talk about the rest?
And then as far as the bus, I'm usually the one that sends most of them home in the morning. Miss Moran has a few of them. But one of the things that you are going to see is a bus ticket. It is going to be either a piece of styrofoam, it could be a laminated piece of card, but it is going to have their name on it and their destination. If you would just have them take it off and put it in their backpack, then when they come back, we have it. It's just a nice reminder for the bus driver and for myself when I take all of my little ducklings out to the bus, I know where they're going to go. I try and make sure, you know, that I get them where they go. I can tell you, I always know where they're headed. Sometimes if we got the phone call and I forgot, it might not be where they're supposed to, but we keep working, we work that out, and, but I do know where they are going to go. So if they were supposed to go home and you call and it was changed and I didn't send them home, then I can tell you exactly where I sent them, because I do know where I send them. I have a list of everyone that I do. I know where they're going to go. But I do need that little bus pass back so that we're not having to make them every single time that we have class. And then in the afternoon, when our 4-year-olds leave, they leave just a little bit earlier to go out on the bus. We line them up and we take them out to their buses before the other kids go out there. They don't line up with their siblings, so if the sibling is telling you that they can't find them, it's because they're already out on the bus. It's just safer that way, and then we know exactly where they are at. And there's a lot of kids that get on buses, so we just feel a little bit safer that way, and then we know where they're at. Any questions?
On the bus, we live pretty far out. We're almost out of the school district.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a meeting place, or do they have a distance they can go? For the tickets, if we by chance need her, be picked up every once in a while.
So is it open enrolled?
I probably will be. I was open enrolled.
Okay.
Where I live. So.
Yeah, there would be a destination to meet at then. We can't, well, yeah, we can't, even for preschool. Yeah.
We're right in the middle. It's like a no man's land. So.
Yeah. Yep.
And she's just in the mornings, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be
something
easier.
yeah.
Just a few things that are on your list that you didn't cover yet, Miss Patty. You know, please make sure that if you have a change of plans, to email or actually a phone call to the school is best. Please just don't tell your child to tell the teacher, because we, as trusting as we want your 3s and 4s to be, we just don't know who to believe. So if you could please have an adult call the school with what the plans are going to be, that would be great. And the sooner you can let us know, the better. So we ask that, you know, for mornings you call before 11 or you call before 3 in the afternoon, because things get crazy around lunch and at dismissal time. So to make sure that your child gets where they need to go, please let us know as soon as you have a change of plan what that's going to be. And I think everything else on there is covered. That's all right. That's why we make a list.
So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the curriculum that we use and kind of the typical day of our program and our assessment system that we use. We use a curriculum called Creative Curriculum, and it's play-based and inquiry-based, and so it's kind of whatever the kids are interested in. We take that topic, we dive in, and we study the heck out of it for like 8 weeks. We like to give them hands-on experiences. Our classrooms are full of centers. So we have a library center, a block building center, a kitchen center, a science and discovery center. It's all about hands-on, minds-on. The more we can get in their hands, the better. Our assessment system lines up directly with our curriculum, which is awesome. We have 70+ objectives that we have to go in and assess constantly. I mean, it's daily assessment on the child as a whole child. And so we're taking a look at their physical development. Can they hold a pencil? Can they not hold a pencil? Can they walk? Can they go up and down steps? The way they talk to each other. Are they constantly interrupting their friends? Are they constantly interrupting us as teachers? Or are they able to have a back and forth conversation? What's their vocabulary like? Do they know how to use the big words the way the big words are supposed to be used? Do they use me instead of I? Then we go into literacy and math, social studies, science. You know, are they able to use an iPad? Are they able to count to 5? Are they able to name the letters in their name? Are they able to start writing their name? It's this gigantic list, which is awesome because we appreciate it because it's a picture of the whole child for the whole 9 months that we have them, as opposed to snapshots of tests on a given day 3 times a year. So we're busy. We have a lot that we have to do. And that's totally where you guys come into play, because we see it as a partnership with you, that we are helping to mold and shape your child into the best 3, 4, 5-year-old that they're going to be while we have them. So that's our curriculum, that's our assessment system. You're up. Someone else, tag now.
All right. Just a little bit about, I guess the next thing would be arrival. So in the morning, we prefer them not to be dropped off before 8 a.m. There's a lot of times we have meetings in the morning and there are not teachers in the room before 8 o'clock. We know sometimes we can't control buses, sometimes buses get here. 3-year-olds will be going straight to their classroom. 4-year-olds, when they arrive, they will be going either outside or to the gym with everybody else. We kind of have them in groups with their similar age peers or their classes, so they're not kind of all running around with 5th and 6th graders. And there are qualified staff out there with them. But yeah, just for the safety of them, and just we prefer that they not arrive till 8 a.m. if possible. Like I said, our day begins at 8:30 and the morning runs till 11:30, and then 12:30 to 3:30. A little bit about the drop and go process. Okay, we know this can be kind of a big deal for moms and dads too, but we have found that, the longer you hang around and the more hugs and kisses you ask for, it just makes it a little bit harder for them to kind of transition to school. So, just to help us out, help your child out, quick hug and kiss is fine. I had a 3-year-old this year, you want to give them that good goodbye. Some of you might just want to throw them in and say, okay, they're yours. But just to make, like I said, we see that transition, and it can be rough for some of them. So if they're good, let them go. Okay.
As we like to say, it's like the Band-Aid. Rip it off. Because, it hurts a lot less when you do that than when you carefully take it off. So,
yeah,
quicker the better sometimes.
Backpacks, right? They need a backpack, okay? We do a lot in our day, like I said. They're busy bees and they have lots of stuff they want to send home and show you, but it's also a good way for us to communicate with you. So please, look through their backpack each night. If they bring stuff home, talk to them about what's in their backpack. If you have something to send in their backpack, that's good too. We ask that the backpacks can at least fit a piece of paper. Sometimes we get these little teeny backpacks and they don't fit anything. So just make sure that it can fit normal size paper and all that workbooks. Yeah, we do a library. I know Miss Patty's, and some of her books are kind of big to take home.
Because they get to choose whatever book they choose, and sometimes they like those big books, and when you have a backpack that's not much bigger than that piece of paper, we do some creative stuffing.
Yes. So yes, just main thing is just check the backpack each and every night if possible. So if a note is sent home, that we have that communication between home and school. Another big thing, delays and early outs. It's a little bit different for the preschool program than it would be for the school-aged kids. So if correct me if I'm wrong because it's kids. If your child is morning only and there is a delay, they will not come to school. So I think usually our day doesn't start then until 10:30, so it'd only be an hour that they're here. It's more hassle just to get them here and then get them back. Then it's worse. So if they're morning only and there's a delay, they will not have school. If they are all day and there is a delay, they would come at the normal time as the school age. So they would come at that 2-hour delay, which would be 10:30. And they would go on throughout their day till the end of the day. If they are PM only and there is a early out, then they would not have school. So if they're PM only and we get out at say 1:15 or 2:05, then they would not have school that day. If they're all day and there's an early out, they would go until the 1:15 or 2:05 time. Kind of confusing. We usually send out kind of a form that you can pin to your fridge or board and kind of try to keep track. Did I leave anything else?
And a lot of this information you will get to hear again at the home visits, because we will
Make a little bit
visit with a lot of this information again, so.
Yes.
And there is a form in the packet that goes through that too,
Okay.
Perfect.
that you can put
Awesome.
some fridge and room.
It gets kind of confusing, so.
Snack, wanna talk about snack? We can talk about snack
Snack.
visits.
Yeah.
Let's talk about snack. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, this is my favorite part. So, there is a little poster, I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but it basically says that between the time that your child is born and the day that he or she enters kindergarten, there's roughly 2,000 days. And so what you do with those 2,000 days matters. Whether it's at home, whether it's in a preschool program. Kind of going back to what I said earlier, we want to look at this as a partnership with you, okay? We're helping to mold and shape your child into the best 3, 4, 5-year-olds that they can be, and then when they leave us, they should be awesome, right? What you do at home matters. What you do at home with your child matters. We challenge you to put your phones down, put your tablets away, turn the TV off, and talk to your child. We challenge you to read with your child. You can read a story, you can talk about the pictures. You need quality time with your kids. We cannot stress it enough. So we challenge you, not only during the summers, not only during this upcoming school year, start now, because it starts now. There's this idea called the self-fulfilling prophecy. That means whatever you believe about yourself, that's what it's gonna be. Likewise, whatever you tell your child about themselves, that's what they're going to be. And that can be very positive, that can be very negative.
We're hoping it's a positive.
We're hoping we do.
From you guys.
We
Yes,
do.
yes.
Again, what you guys do at home matters. What you do as a family matters. What you do as parents matter. And we hope that we can form this incredible partnership with you guys in this next school year.
We're here to back you.
To just be awesome, right? But we mean it. We also, because it is a working partnership, and because we spend a lot of time with your kids, we would really like it if there are big life changes or concerns. We have this open door policy that our door is always open to you guys. If you need advice, if you need help, if you have something happen in your family, we would really like to know if we can, so that we can better support your child here at school. Whether it's the happy stuff or the not so great stuff. Because believe it or not, it affects your child somehow. They might not show it right away, it might come out at school, or they might not show it at school, and it might come out at home. We wanna help you guys, and we want you to help us too, in that respect. So always know that we're here for you, always know that our doors are open as well.
Oh.
Is there anything that you'd like to say, Nurse Paige?
Yeah, I have lots to say.
Is it sure?
We all have lots to say. Let's see, I'll start with immunizations. Obviously, state law required to have immunizations. I ask that you bring them, even if you, I'm sure you didn't bring them tonight, but get them to me at some point. It's easier than me having to find them myself. And if you're deficient in any of those, I'll be in contact with you. We get audited by the state for those, so I have to have everybody's. In your form, sir, I believe there's a physical form. It's not recommended to have the doctor's physical on file, however, it's just nice for us, help see whatever. So there's one of those in there. If your doctor's office uses another one, feel free to send that. They don't need to fill out that exact one that's in there. I'll take whatever you give me. Just some general illness things while your kids are here at school. If they're ill, please keep them home for 24 hours just so we can keep, so we don't spread those things. That means fever-free without Tylenol. So if you've been giving them Tylenol, stop. No fever for 24 hours. Same way with vomiting, diarrhea, 24 hours from the last time. If your child's been started on antibiotics, we like them to have those antibiotics for 24 hours before coming. And kind of for preschool, pink eye, we do send home for, if we suspect pink eye, same thing, keep them home for 24 hours. Those little guys are so close with each other, playing with all those toys so close, we just don't want to spread all of that. So, yeah, 24 hours. Also in the preschool handbook, which I'm sure you'll see later, it does say a little snippet that says something along the lines of, if an illness affects the child's ability to participate comfortably or compromises the other students, you could be getting a phone call. So I send home fevers over 100. You know, if Miss Patty or Miss Moran, Mrs. Nail bring me somebody and they say, you know, Nurse Paige, this child is not doing anything today. They're not themselves. You know, can you check a temperature? It's only 98.8 or something. Sometimes I still give you a call just because they work with them so closely. They realize they're not feeling good. They're not going to benefit from being at school. So yeah, we have those guidelines laid out, but there is some leeway there. We don't want them to be here miserable, and we also don't want the other kids to get sick. So sometimes we just call if they're just not themselves or whatever. If your child has any health conditions, seizures, allergies, asthma, things like that, it's good for us to know. We can fill out action plans. We can help them during those times, allergy season with asthma, things like that. So let us know. Through the year, if there's anything that changes medically wise, we'd love to hear about that too. I have a file for every student, so it just goes in there, all confidential, only share it with the teachers that need to know. Let's see, toilet training. We strongly encourage them to be potty trained, but we understand that accidents happen. We'll help them get cleaned up, get changed, things like that. We do ask if you can try to keep a pair of underwear and pants in your child's bag and kind of check it frequently. Oh, yeah. And socks. At least keep that in there. We have a small supply, but those go very fast. So if you can keep those in their bag, they are more comfortable with their own clothes, and then we don't have to use our supply. Also, we understand things happen, so if we do send the kids home in something from the school, if you would pretty please wash it and send it back. I think it says Miss Patty all over it, so you're not going to want to wear it in public anyway with a black Sharpie. So if you'll please keep those clothes in the bag so we can help them be more comfortable and get that figured out. Let's see, medications. If your child needs a medication while they're here at school, it needs to be in the original package. Not outdated. Some people don't think to look about that. The name, your child's name, the time to be given, and whether it can stay at school or it needs to go home. Please understand, sometimes it gets pretty hectic up there. So if it's an antibiotic, if your child goes all day, it's a 3-time-a-day antibiotic. A lot of times doctors are okay with before school, after school, and at night. That way we're not even dealing with it, worry about forgetting it here. It's just easier if they don't have to come up and take those medications. If your child would need daily medication, just get in contact with me and we'll get that paperwork filled out and we'll make it so they get that every day. Inhalers, pills, anything like that. Let's see. Over-the-counter medications. A lot of times we see that for like earaches, ear infection. You want to send some Tylenol. That's fine. Just make sure it's in the original package, name, all that stuff. However, new this year, we're not going to give over-the-counter medications for longer than 2 days without a doctor's note. It just gets kind of, you know, we don't want to keep giving them meds. We'll want that doctor's note after 2 days. Let's see. I think that's about all I have. If you have any questions or any changes or whatever, I'm always happy to talk. You can call me, email me, set up a time to meet, whatever's fine with me.
Ms. Michelle, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Nope, all I really have is just all the paperwork that's on the please return. I have the tub here tonight. If you have it filled out, that's great. Stick it in here. If not, I just ask that you have it turned back in by May 25th, which is the last day of school. And as Mrs. Flannery said earlier, that just ensures that your child is registered, ready to go, so we don't need to see you on August 2nd, and gets them, fulfills their spot. Birth certificate. Is there anybody else that needs a copy made tonight? Okay. We can make those copies for you, and then.
I have a question. I didn't bring it, so do I get a copy of it and?
We can make the copy for you too when you bring it in.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a certified copy, we just need
Okay.
a copy just to verify birth date. And, yeah, we just ask that we have that birth certificate by the start of school.
And new parents, I'm sorry. When you come visit us during school hours, we do have a secure entry. So when you walk up the stairs to your right, there's a little box that you need to push a button. Stand back a little bit and we'll say, who is it please? And just let us know who you are and maybe why you're here. This is so-and-so, I'm here to drop off my preschool registration if we don't know you. That's just something that we've added to increase, safety is important here for us to make sure that your child is as safe as they can be. So we have that security system. Once school starts at 8:30, the doors are locked. So, but we welcome you to come in. You just have to push the buzzer first.
And don't be offended if we ask who you are.
Yeah.
We just have a little screen to see. I try to do my best to see who you are, but sometimes the glare just isn't quite right, so I might just have to ask who you are.
And I'm awful. Sometimes I don't even recognize Michelle. So, just please be patient with us with that. What questions do you have that we might be able to answer for you? Yes.
How do we get notified, like if our 3-year-old gets accepted into the program?
Really good question. We should be able to put some things together and get all that notification. I don't know. May 25th, I guess by the last day of school for sure. And if we would know that, we're not going to keep you on pins and needles. When we know, we will let you know. But we should be able to for sure say May 25th without any reservation and go from there. But
the open enrollment line, I guess, where do you know if you have to or not? I don't know if it's changed
for
since
preschool, we wouldn't need open enrollment.
That's not till
either.
kindergarten.
But
Okay,
for
but,
kindergarten, we will.
Do you know
But-
what the
Where the-
radius is, or how we find that?
Superintendent has the exact.
Okay.
So if you call Joni, the superintendent's officer, Tara, they'll be able to
Okay.
tell you for sure.
All right.
Any other questions?
Is there any form that tells us which one our 4-year-old we prefer them to be in, or if we would prefer all day, if we do have that option?
On the registration form, yes, there is
I
that.
didn't see one in here.
Okay, yeah, not on the registration, but on the application.
Oh, I'm sorry, the application, I should have said.
I do have extra books there.
Yeah, so if you need an application form, we'll get Miss Michelle, or so we'll get some down here. Any other questions? Well, if you think of anything, please feel free to call us, email us. Thank you for coming. We'll hang around here for a little bit if you have any questions for us. And again, thanks for coming. And we look forward to working with your children next year. Sure.